It's even bigger than Alexandria Castle. I love when buildings are big in video games. It's so interesting how they like represent scale. An indoor airship dock. This is truly amazing. Even Her Majesty's Red Rose would even fit in here. Dagger, you don't look too impressed. Have you been here before? Yep. Here comes the welcoming crew. That's an old airship. We're gonna fly through this part. That's super important. It's actually the princess, they say. Call Minister Artania. We are gonna use the fast forward in certain parts. That way I can sort of have time to talk about what we're actually doing. And so this is Dagger's uncle, who's sort of the right-hand person to Sid. I wish the card game was the same from FF8. Yo, I actually was watching a video that was talking about Tetramaster and also like the other like mini games and other RPGs, and everybody hates on this one for good reason, but I still like it. Like despite everything, I still like the card game that's in this game. I don't know if I can go get the treasure chest that's in here already. It looks like I can, so I'm just gonna do that. I actually really do enjoy Tetramaster, even though it is silly. Like the random aspect of it is just like absurd, that basically any card could be any other card. But I do enjoy it a lot. I do agree that it's better in Final Fantasy VIII. I think it's like almost unequivocal. I think that that's like almost just true. But I still like it. I enjoy it in this game, and I don't mind being forced to do it when you go to Treno. Personally, I love Treno, by the way. I was talking about how much I love like the setting of this game, and Treno is like one of my favorite cities. I love how it's just like eternally night there. I think this is one of my favorite iterations of Sid in a Final Fantasy game. Regent Sid is so good. I love Oglop Sid and Frog Sid. What's Regent Sid like? Very wise. Very Ogloppy. This is the first time I'm seeing Dagger's pendant so close. But I guess that is because it's the revamp. Why is it that I, as a pertinent person with some significant societal privilege, have never trusted the police? Well, you see, you grew up playing Final Fantasy VII and Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, these games will teach you things about the world, for sure. They really do. The Regent isn't here, and I don't know who. Take a look at the throne. These games are so good. And Grand Theft Auto is pretty awesome too. It's on my quack quack. I never played Grand Theft Auto too much, but I respect it. I think it's cool. I did like always like just like stealing cars and driving around. That was always fun. There was actually a game that like I don't know how much people have actually played it. It's called Streets of Sim City, and it was a weird Sim City game where you could like drive around, and you could even like add this hack where you could play as a helicopter, and I loved being the helicopter. It was so much fun. I remember that mustache. Is that really you, Uncle Ted? Yep, I'm the Regent. That's for sure. I'm gonna speed up. I think that we can get through this part pretty quick. Okay, I'll slow down for this. Today, I figured it was you. So we got Freya. Freya, great character. I love Lillian too. I think about this character Lillian for some reason. I think our hair probably looks kind of similar. My hair's dyed purple right now, but normally it's that sort of shade of brown. Ever play Simcopter? That's what I was referring to. So Streets of SimCity and Simcopter are two separate games. Simcopter and Streets of SimCity I both played, but yeah, they are separate games. I convinced myself that they were the same game. Simcopter was a great game. I like played that game so much when I was a kid, and I remember like you would go around and you'd like put out fires or something, but then you could also be like an Apache helicopter and you could like blow up buildings. And I used to do that sometimes. That game was that was a great game. I also love Sim Tower. I don't know if you ever played Sim Tower, but or Sim Hotel or something. It was like you were building a hotel. It was pretty awesome. And you had to do like elevator management. It was so good. I made a pretty tall skyscraper. It was like at least 100 floors. Confirm. We're just sticking with the classic names. Heard of it, but never played. Sim Ant was fun. Yo, Sim Ant! That's a throwback. You must be a 90s kid. because that's like a true 90s kid game. I played Sim Ant in school on a Macintosh computer when it was like one of those big computers with the big back. That game's legit. Yo. Are there any good ant emotes? If there's good ant emotes, throw some in chat. How long's it been, Freya? I love their friendship. I just like that they're friends in general. Did you ever find anything out about your boyfriend? Sometimes I felt like Freya was a little bit overlooked as a character, and I kind of still feel that way. I feel like there is depth to Freya, but that it's not like not very well presented. So if they did do a FF9 remake, which was brought up earlier in the chat, then I hope that they go into Freya a little bit more, and Burmecia in general. I think Renly? No, Renly is from Game of Thrones. Renly Baratheon. I forget the name of the person that Freya's into. It'll come to me if I think about it. We haven't spoken much. Also, a suspicious man has been prowling the castle. It's probably Aragorn Strider. I understand why you're so eager. I'm happy that you came proud. At this point, I think you're the only person Mother will listen to. Quack, 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 quack. I love the sound so much. Is that an ant? It's kind of like an ant. When I heard the Lindblum's theater ship was coming to Alexandria, I decided to sneak on board and come here no matter what. Just never expected the crew to kidnap me. I hired them to kidnap you. What? Beautiful. This game's so good. It's just like theater. We were forced to take action because we knew Alexandria. ... Okay, let's just keep going. We're gonna get through the Festival of the Hunt. We're gonna get through all this because I want to play some Chocobo Hot and Cold. That's where I'm at. I want to get through all this and I want to play Chocobo Hot and Cold. I want to be pressing square and digging up chocographs. Kind of always wanted to do something like this, but I kind of never thought I would. Yo, Sid looks baked constantly. Is that just me, or like are Sid's eyes just making him look baked constantly? I'm gonna zoom in the next time that we get on him. I don't know if all of you smoke, but I hope that if you do, that you have plenty of weed. We did just pass 420, and nobody should have to scrape resin to get by. I hope you're all finding yourself plentiful baked. And maybe you don't do that. In that case, I hope that you have whatever you are into. Maybe it's potato chips, or I don't know, video games. For me, it's like playing music, probably. Can I tell you something? Is that, of course I can tell you something, that's what I'm here for. Let me tell you this though, this is so shitty. I bet you all have done this. If you smoke weed, then you probably have done this before. I had enough weed for about 2 more bowls. I had enough weed for about 2 more bowls. I was on my penultimate bowl, as they say. And I put it down, turned around, turned back around, and what did I do? I knocked the bowl over. I knocked the full bowl over. And I scattered all my weed everywhere. Scattered it all. I scattered it all to the wind when I was just like on my very last bowl. The question becomes, of course, do I smoke my last bowl right now? Or do I go without now so that later on I can worry about it then? Pretty much. I'm gonna save a separate one just so we have 2 in case. And I ended up smoking then. I repacked another bowl and I smoked. And it ended up working out because like I was able to pick up some more. So there was a happy ending. It ended up not mattering. I saw this Bernie Sanders meme where it was like, no college student should ever have to scrape resin. It's like, yeah, yo dude, you probably would say that and you'd be right. I love the ATEs, and I love the ones with Steiner here so much. I'm gonna go through this. Steiner's being a trans girl and just like wants pickles. So we're gonna fly through this. We don't need to commit to this because I want to get through the Festival of the Hunt. I want to go ride some chocobos. Chocobo Hot and Cold is even more fun with the fast mode. Thanks so much for joining. I was saying earlier that I don't think any of you were in chat when I was saying this earlier. But I think about how valuable my time is. And like, I don't know, there's obviously, time is priceless, of course. And it's like, who even knows how much this is worth? And I mean, putting a price on time is just so capitalistic and gross anyways. But still, like, time is valuable. I think we can all agree that time is valuable. It's our most valuable resource. We all have a limited amount of time, and we want to use it effectively. And so the fact that anyone is spending time with me in this chat, it just means so much to me. And I really appreciate you being here. It feels like support. It makes me feel really good, and I hope that y'all are enjoying my diatribes. The fire's too hot. You can't use a fire this hot to synthesize things. What are you thinking? Gosh, what a fucking idiot. JK, JK, JK. Okay. We want the ogre. And we need a mage masher now, of course. The classic run back and forth between the synthesis shop and the weapon shop. Hey, can you tape these two swords together for me? So that I can swing them around as a sword staff? Good song. Okay. We'll get one cotton robe. We'll get one desert boot. We'll get a yellow scarf. You definitely want at least one of everything. And so, I think glass buckle is a pretty killer first item, but we'll do the one that's a worse item first. Oh yeah, because that gives strength. Yeah, we'll do this one. So we did synthesize at least one of every single item. I think I'm still gonna buy some more things just to make sure that I have extras, because eventually Bandit. We do want to learn Bandit, so we won't equip one of his better items just yet. Whoa, this looks way different than how it looked in the original game. They really updated that. I love in video games where there's no background music, but it's actually just the sound of flowing water. And we are going to really briefly do something I'm going to try not to do too much of, and I'm just going to farm. I mean, I've never been like a perfect run type of a person. I've never been like a perfectionist or anything. I just kind of play the way that my heart tells me to play. I just did 420 damage, so the weed number, of course. I don't know if any of you have heard the NoFX song Drugs Are Good. NoFX is a good band, in my opinion. I can kill these two easily. Again, I don't advocate killing insects, because I am vegan. If you have an insect in your house, then I understand if you gotta do something. I actually, I got faced with a huge hornet in my living room last year. It was a pretty, dramatic situation. I was, alone. And I'm very scared of bees. Bees are probably my biggest fear. But I'm terrified of bees, and yeah, I had this huge hornet right in my living room. And you know, on one level I don't want to kill it because I'm on a vegan, and then on another level, I can't freaking live in a house if there's a hornet there. It's like either me or the hornet. One of us has to go. But that was hard. I was just so scared too. It wasn't just like me being charitable to this hornet. You know, I think that was enough. I think that was enough leveling up. I just wanted to get there, enough that we got, a little stronger. These were terrifying as a kid. They're still terrifying, yo. The first time that I had an adverse experience with a hornet, I woke up with a wasp on my pillow and it stung me on my forehead. I was probably, 6 or 7 years old. No, I was probably older. I was probably, 8 or 9. And yeah, I woke up with a searing pain on my forehead, and I looked down and there was a wasp just right in front of my face on my pillow, just pissed off, and I started crying and screaming, of course. I was just freaking out. That was not my last time being stung by a wasp as a kid. I've had a lot of negative experiences with bees, for sure. I'm really interested in Asian philosophy, so I've spent a lot of time talking to people who are Buddhist and Hindu and studying those faiths. And I asked them what I should do about my fear of bees, and they told me that I should do immersion therapy. I'm supposed to go and just watch a hive of wasps from a safe distance, they said. It's not a bad idea. I probably would do it if I knew of a good place to observe wasps from a safe distance. But I don't know if I know of such a place off the top of my head. But I probably would. I would if I could. Muggles are so dope. There was this one time that we were having this big party with me and my friends. I don't really drink very much, but we were drinking at this party. And I was wearing a Moogle hat, and we were doing a drinking game where my friends said that if I didn't say Kupo after one of my sentences, then I had to take a drink. And it was very funny and fun. It was a good time. And I did drink a lot, and I said Kupo often that night. Kupo drinking game is the best drinking game. It was seriously so funny. And to just be wearing this Kupo hat, this Moogle hat that I was wearing. Steam engine. We're gonna fast forward through this one, I think, but I want to see it. This town's so big. It is a beautiful perspective of the city. Lindblum, what a cool city. So we're not trying to overuse the fast forward, but we'll use it for parts like that. We're gonna come to this place later, but I just figured I'd go by and just kind of take all the obvious item chests that are around. We're gonna summarize like a lot of these things, because like we're trying to get to Chocobo Hot and Cold. That's where the real money is at. I hope that y'all are hyped for Chocobo Hot and Cold. If you are, please let me know in the chat. Let me know that you're excited for it, because we're coming up on it. We just gotta get through the Festival of the Hunt. And then after we do that, we will just be on our way to go play some Chocobo Hot and Cold immediately. Chocobo Hot and Cold is the best minigame. It really is. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And I feel like people don't appreciate it enough. Earlier, someone was asking me whether I thought a Final Fantasy IX remake would be good. And I'd love to see them like deck out Chocobo Hot and Cold. I love that Baku is a pink ponytail with a bow. It's so cute. And he's kind of wearing a Moogle hat. It's not like a Moogle, but it's like a raccoon or something. I don't know. What kind of ears are those? Maybe a little wolf or a coyote? No, those are like bat's ears. Those are definitely like bat ears. A pink beard too, and a pig nose. Such an interesting character design. I imagine Cinna having a Boston accent. Who am I? I'm Sir Zidane. Zidane's so funny. Zidane's like one generation older than those girls. Oh, everybody's onto the new trend. Lol, lol, kiss me, lol. Oh, it's so hard being lol. The Moogle. Moogle, man, thank you for coming to see Moogle Wannabe too. I'm a Moogle Wannabe. Hey, you're... No, 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 I'm not. That's how it's hard. That's kind of like life for me. It's pretty tough being popular. Me and Zidane both know what that's like. You know, people just following you around. We could probably find a chocobo in those woods. Maybe I can catch a chocobo in that forest. I'm gonna put you to sleep with sleeping weed, then kidnap you. Yo, put me to sleep with sleeping weed. Nah, JK, just give me regular weed. It's mostly used for kids, but a big dose can knock out an adult. I guess you don't need it, since I came along on my own. Hey, would you mind giving me some? Same. Just don't drink, okay? If you're gonna do it, just don't drink. We're flying through. We're gonna go through the Festival of the Hunt. Flying through, and we're flying through because we're just gonna get through this Festival of the Hunt. That's all we want to do. Going through. Well, can we go on an airship cruise? I'm just flirting with Dagger. That's what Zidane is saying. Fine, we can go on an airship cruise, even though you grabbed my butt. This is barbaric, even though it's a tradition. They're all released. Yeah, what do they call that? Zagnol. What a cool name for a fantasy creature, a Zagnol. I think there might be one item that, Oh, whoops. I already started the Festival of the Hunt and I didn't save. So what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna let the clock time out. I wish that I had saved because there's a chance that Vivi can win. And we don't want Vivi to win. We want Freya to win. So we're just gonna let this simmer. Ara. Is that like the Ura from USA Holes? That reminds me of that at least. Yo, okay, so seriously, doesn't Sid look baked as fuck? Like, I've never really particularly paid attention to that fact, but I guess I haven't played the remastered version, but like look at those eyes. It's literally from a South Park episode. He's been smoking Tegrity weed. Literally. Yo, I want some Tegrity. I remember when America had Tegrity. Tegrity. They took our Tegrity. Back to the pile. If you're going by foot, leaving from that gate is the best way. Sounds like a pretty good way to me. He seriously even seems baked. Like, that sounds like something that someone baked would say. Like, yo, if you're gonna go, you gotta go through the gate. You gotta go through the gate. You don't even know. Look at this feast. They don't eat very much in this game, and when they do, it's probably poison. Appreciate you being here. I hope that you're enjoying the nostalgia train that is Final Fantasy IX. I am enjoying it immensely, and we're gonna start doing some Chocobo fucking Hot and Cold soon, because we're gonna get through the Dragon's Gate here, and that's definitely what I've been looking forward to all week. I've just been like looking forward to just doing a bunch of Chocograph hunting and fucking digging through the dirt with a Chocobo beak, pressing the square button. We're just gonna sort of get to the Chocobo area, and then we'll save once we're there. And we're gonna start playing some Chocobo Hot and Cold basically as soon as we can, of course. We'll go to the forest. Here we go. We're about to get started. That's so cute. Chocobo's forest. Who doesn't love it? Who doesn't love it? I gotta get some Moogle and Chocobo emotes. I don't know what other I'd like to get a couple custom emotes of just myself. I think that'd be kind of cute. There'll probably be a trans emote. I can only have 5, right? So I've already said 4 of them.